Was that thunder?
That was thunder.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I thought it was Kathy Griffin screaming at you from the street. Are you sure? I think she's cursing.
Well, no doubt.
In case you missed CNN's New Year's Eve party, as I'm sure most people did, because absolutely nobody watches CNN, they had on comedian Whitney Cummings, who absolutely destroyed CNN, the left-wing media, and the whole left-wing establishment. It was truly a sight to see. Clips of Whitney have gone so viral that it's probably going to outpace CNN's entire viewership for the year.
Do you even know who I am, Anderson?
Yes, I do know
Is he
who
just
you are.
like, I thought Joan Rivers was dead.
No, I do know you are. How long are you going on
He
tour,
does
though,
now.
And even calls out the mainstream media, saying that they portray people to be what they aren't and trying to cause more divide across the country.
It's the best. I love going around the country because you see that Americans really are more reasonable than they would be portrayed.
Absolutely.
They're pretty great.
And rips into the viewership of CNN and Anderson Cooper right to his face, which you can tell really hits home because he just took a massive pay cut due to the drop in ratings and all the layoffs that are taking place at CNN.
I'm playing bigger and bigger venues now. I thought being a mom would mean that less people would want to come see me. I'm now playing, like 3,000 seat theaters,
awesome.
which is about the viewership of CNN these days.
Well,
Not
nice.
this show, though.
Nice.
All eyes are on this show.
Wow, you're all.
He called out the entire entertainment industry, showing that they are no longer about entertainment. They are about pushing their beliefs and values onto you, whether you agree with them or not.
And I'm also a fan of entertainment that just entertains. There's this new thing where everything in Hollywood has to lecture people how to vote. It didn't make you feel guilty about global warming. It's just a fun show. I do believe we need to hold 2024 accountable for its behavior. That is what white women do now.
She even mentions the fact that we glorified several murderers throughout the year. And of course, it wouldn't be a true roast if you didn't mention Diddy at least a couple times.
This was the year we could not get enough of murderers. Gypsy Rose became our favorite celebrity because murdering your mom is so brat. They had her on a red carpet, a little on the nose for a murderer, but she was like posing in a fancy dress. We were like, slay, and she was like, I did. And of course, our heartthrob of the year was the alleged cold-blooded killer named Luigi, who is now in the same prison as Diddy, which I'm very upset about because Luigi already has a lower back issue. Half the people I know think we're in a simulation. I'm starting to wonder. When I go to a website and it asks me if I'm a robot or not, half the time I get the quiz wrong. I'm like, does the shadow of a bike count as a bike? I don't know. Why am I looking at a grainy photo of a crack house?
And she made sure not to stop short of giving the Bidens a few shots all on their own.
The Dallas Cowboys cheerleader doc showed the girls being treated horribly, underpaid, crying. I thought I'd opened a video on Hunter Biden's laptop.
Now, of course, it wouldn't have been a true roast of 2024 if Whitney didn't mention the election, and how the fact that the Democratic Party didn't even have an election for their own leader, and they just forced Kamala onto the people, and it obviously clearly backfired hard. Or the fact that the current leader, Joe Biden, is nothing more than an empty body in the seat. The current president, Joe Biden, is basically dead.
2024 election fried our brains. The Democrats couldn't hold a primary because they were too busy holding a body upright. Are we still rolling? Am I off?
Go for it.
It was amazing that the pro-choice party didn't give their voters one when it came to the presidential candidate.
She made light of one of the biggest stories of the year, the drones that are flying above head in New Jersey. The fact that the government's pretending that they don't know where they're from or why they're there, which is clearly untrue because the government would not allow the drones to stay flying above head if they knew that there was a potential of a security risk. Chances are that the government is the ones that place the drones there, or they're a private contractor doing defense work for the government. Now, we all know that the government is very untrustworthy, but we can be clear of one thing. It's not Boeing that put them up there for clear reasons.
We all agree the government totally knows what drones are and are telling us. The drones are still up there, and we have no idea what's behind them. No idea. I mean, they're still up in the sky, so I guess we can rule out that they were made by Boeing.
The fact that CNN even let her go on this long without censoring her or cutting off her mic was a miracle in itself, and she even knows it as she made reference to it several times asking if they were still rolling.
Didn't have any silverware in his house. No one thought that was weird. Are we still rolling? Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia put money into Disney, so just know there won't be any girl characters in the next Cars movie. Are we still rolling? This is wild. Why have so many presidents' chefs died? Weird. Boy Scout of America, they renamed itself Scouting America. You know who else changed their name? Sean Combs. Just saying. Let's learn something in 2025. I can't believe you guys are still letting me go. This is amazing. I love CNN. No censorship on CNN.
Thank
love
you
you guys.
very much.
Thanks for having me.
Love you.
Now, unfortunately, Whitney only had about 6 minutes on CNN because I would have really enjoyed to see her go on for 10 or 15 minutes about just everything that's wrong with America, CNN, the left, the whole mainstream media. This was absolute gold, not just comedy gold. This is just one of the most fantastic things I've ever seen. I can't imagine they'll be rushing to have her back on anytime soon, even though that was one of the greatest programs they've had in years. Andy seemed like he was having the time of his life. I mean, it could have been a few too many wobbly pops, but Anderson Cooper seemed like he was about one line from having a mental breakdown. Now, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And as always, stay curious, my friends.